With so many worries in the world, including the war in Iran and its impact across the globe, fuel prices and people feeling anxious, as a war veteran, Central Coast mental health speaker Craig Ball is passionate about helping others cope with their emotions so they can live a better life. He's been on that journey himself, and he's now started free workshops called Reclaim Your Power, which is, of course, the name of his book. And he joins us in the studio. Good morning again, Craig.
Hi, Scott, and g'day to everyone listening.
You were sort of lucky in a way, weren't you? You hit on something that took off, the walk and talk.
Indeed.
And it ticked all the boxes. And all the experts said, yeah, this is how you do it. I guess we don't know what it is until we see it and hear it.
Indeed. And I must admit, I'd like to acknowledge Penrith Men's Walk and Talk, who gave me a lot of support before we moved to the coast. And they said, why don't you give a walk a go? And my wife, Teresa, said, oh, look, you've really got to start this. And then one of the dads said, the suicide rate on the coast is above the state average. So that was a bit of a trigger then, and I looked up a place and we got going.
And people are loath, men particularly, loath to reach out for help. But they get help without even knowing it, I guess, when they just rock up on a Thursday afternoon, isn't it? And they just wander along the beautiful pathways around Tuggerah Lakes. Yeah,
Thursday evening. We get there about 6:45 in the evening, and we step off about 5 or 10 past 7. And we it's Tuggerong pathway, and it's really easy to get to. But guys, yeah, they don't. They're holding on often to this belief of masculinity that you've got to be stoic or strong or whatever.
But I think society also continues to perpetrate that myth. If you're a man and you complain, you're weak. If you're a man and something happens, you're always branded as the instigator. If you're a man, you're always the responsible one, and you're supposed to be the rock and the stoic and all the rest of it. And these attitudes, sadly, are still very prevalent, which may be one of the reasons men are overrepresented in suicide statistics.
I think so, and I think they just don't feel comfortable asking for help because of all of those things. So,
speaking of which, too, we must say there is help there, always at hand. 000 in a time of emergency, life-threatening emergency. There are so many good services there. The Men's Line Australia is a wonderful resource. mensline.org.au or 1300 789 978. Relationships Australia, 1300 364 277 if you're dealing with relationship stress. And, of course, Lifeline, wonderful, always there, 13 11 14, and many more.
Of course, yeah. The state government has a really great mental health referral service. If you call, they'll put you on to a service. So that's
and that's 24 hours a day. I do have that number. That's the New South Wales Mental Health Line, and it's manned or personed 24 hours a day, 1-800 011 511. But your great workshops at Toukley just aren't for the blokes. You found that if you don't include the women, things don't happen.
100%. And ladies are bringing their partners. I have a case where a lady brought her ex-husband along. She said she was concerned about him, and we had a really good conversation afterwards, and she raved about it and was telling many people afterwards. I heard she went to a cafe down the road and the cafe owner told me.
That's a way to do it. That's the way to do it. That's how you advertise. Word of mouth is very powerful. It's 9:15 ABC Central Coast. We're speaking with Central Coast mental health speaker Craig Ball, and I believe you've been able to gather some good funding. The Primary Health Network, which is a federal body, has been able to get behind you. They saw the work you were doing and thought that was the best bang for the buck. Is that right?
I really think so. They reached out to me via the Facebook group or Facebook page for the Men's Walk, and we had a conversation, and I explained the workshop, and they were really excited about it. So they've been a huge supporter and very much championing everything we're trying to do.
That's great, isn't it? And that's enabled you to do these workshops at the Toukley Neighbourhood Centre. When's your next one?
We're doing it also in other places around the coast. Our next one is this Sunday at Gosford Regional Art Gallery at 10 a.m. And we're running them. We've got a few more public ones coming up before the end of the year.
That's a beautiful space from 10 to 1 this Sunday, the 19th of April, Gosford Regional Gallery at Caroline Bay at East Gosford there. It's a beautiful spot. And that would help, I guess, with the mental health. And your book, Reclaim Your Power, you've been able to make that available through the workshops too, I believe, for people.
Yes, participants get the workbook for free. Get the actual book for free. They get a workbook to work alongside, taking notes with the workshop as well. And it's also catered. So, I mean, it's a win every way you look at it.
Share a few of the tips. Obviously, over a couple of hours with your workshop, you've got it all builds, and it's lots of evidence to support what you're saying, but just what are a couple of the ones that, and sometimes you learn from the men in your walking group, don't you?
Oh, 100%. One of the big ones is forgive yourself. People they're too busy beating themselves up. They don't take that time out just to let go and go, okay, I'm a human being here. I might have done something I'm not happy about, but I'm not going to judge myself for it, and just start to learn to let go, and also learn to let go of anything that they might be judging other people as well. I teach them a flexible approach to looking at their problems and looking at emotional upset, and that flexibility, and also making them aware of some of the ways of thinking that they might be committing to, and what to do differently about it, and how.
And it's getting some good results. You've had some good stories of people who've been able to use what they've learnt to their advantage, I believe.
Yeah, very much. We've had some great feedback. One guy in particular, he came along, he's having some trouble at work, and it was really upsetting to him, and he was able to use the ABC model of cognitive psychology at the end that we take people towards and help them to have a active discussion about, to break down his problems and think completely differently about it. So remove the negative energy. Because in life we're taught to yell and scream about our problems or to bottle them up. This is a third option that we're never taught, and how to take that out of, take the negative.
Look, I think people just need to go along to find out. How do they register?
The best way to register is to go to the Toukley Neighbourhood Centre website, tnc.org.au. Click on the tab for what we do, and you'll see a list of programs, and check Reclaim Your Power, and it takes you through to some information and how to register.
And off for a walk this Thursday. Obviously, daylight saving ending might have made things a bit darker and colder.
It certainly has. We've got a few people with headlamps for those that don't want to rely on their night vision, but great photos at night. Like, we're taking a lot of images and sharing that on the Facebook page. So.
And regular groups turning up, or different people, or how many do you get on a
We're
occasion?
getting 7s and 8s pretty consistently. It's not near a cafe or a pub or something, so that's probably what restricts numbers a little bit, but we do have a dedicated crew, anywhere 15 to 20, and they come as often as they can, so it's very encouraging.
And where do you meet for that again?
Saturday Street End and Tuggerong Pathway.
At around 6:45 or so.
Yeah, about 6:45.
Craig, keep up the good work. It's great that you've been given the funding by the federal government to continue your work. That's this Sunday the 19th at Gosford Regional Art Gallery, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Reclaim Your Power workshop. Craig will be there. You can grab a copy of the book and maybe learn something about